big data is the new oil. And this is where information meets fossil fuel. But actually, oil is just some stuff in the ground, and big data is just some numbers. So any of those things are what we make of them, and how our cultural collaborations through language, through technology, through science, through all sorts of things, bring meaning to these developments. So I guess I just want to open the room up with that and see where it goes.
One of the things that is very worrisome these days is the term of art that's often applied is inequality. And it's applied around wealth. But some time ago, I kind of came to a personal conclusion that wealth and energy may somehow have wealth and information may have some kind of deep relationship between each other. I'm not a trained economist or anything like that. And so this accumulation of information you talked at is sort of held commonly, so to speak. Yeah. It's not held equally across our species. And in fact, my suspicions are that something very much like the inequality in wealth that we see, that something like that is going on with information also, and that this is a deeply troubling aspect of the trajectories that I see.
If wealth grows, why doesn't it behave like water in a lake? Why doesn't it go flat? Why does it sort of go like this? That's something very odd about that. But I think the skewed nature of information may be part of it. And once there's enough variety of information, there's too much to be held in a single head. So you have a division of information as well as a division of labor, and that may be the entree to control over specialist information. Writing is a wonderful example. Writing was a sort of arcane elite skill and a form of control for thousands of years. Most of human history is Paleolithic societies. There were certainly inequalities in them, but the scale was so small that those inequalities didn't look like class inequalities. Once you get agriculture, you suddenly start getting surpluses. And the 19th century sociologists got it right. The surpluses you get within the organic energy regime are not large enough to raise per capita income for everyone. What they are large enough to do is raise per capita income for a small minority. So I think the story over 10,000 years is of most people living close to subsistence and small elites. So the growth takes the form of increasing control over energy and resources by the species as a whole, but doesn't take the form of per capita growth.
I have responsibilities, serious responsibilities in terms of policy making, policy formation. And believe it or not, the kind of discussion that has gone on in this room actually plays itself out when you start thinking about policy. Big data is going to offer us opportunities for molding human society in ways that we could not imagine occurring. And one of the great challenges is, what is personal freedom in an era when big data can make a model of you that accurately predicts who you are? This is something that in the United States we recently wrestled with in a report to the president on big data and privacy. Are we at a point in the development of our species where we are really capable of looking cross-culturally and understanding genius in a way that is outside of our normal experience? To me, this is going to be one of the greatest challenges of our species. We've long, those of us, of course, in Western tradition, have long thought that there are universal principles that underlie our culture. How universal are they really? And testing that against this dynamical, globalized economy that we're entering is going to be one of the most fascinating stories in human history, in my opinion.